زمن ودي جن ده مدرسة تاني يوم أنا بيها ما في بيت. جانا دي جنا ده قال تعال فلان رسلتها في دكان. زمن بتاع بافاريا الجا طلع جديد داك ده. جا شيلو قروش جنا ده هو مشي الدكان. داير يمشي يجيبوا حاجة ده ماشي جابوا. داير جا ودي له قبض جنا ودي جوا. ده الزمن ده كهربا جنا ده كورة شيل القماش كاتب في كسمته وينتهى ببرنامج بتاعه ده. يلا حدد الجنة ما توري لجوليا عشان جوليا يقدر يسمع. أنا بكون عندي مشكلة معك. زمن.
Welcome to Jimosi podcast. There was a sad story that was run by Radio Tamazuj on their website a few days ago about a young girl that was raped for 3 years. So an 11-year-old girl was sexually assaulted for 3 years by a 45-year-old man called Cyer Angok Cyerdit. The young girls come from a poor family. She was brought to Juba by her relative called Julia from a village in Twic County in Warrap State. Julia was married was married in 2021, and as part of Dinka tradition, she had to be accompanied by a small girl as a helper in her new marriage or her home. When she arrived in Juba, Julia and the young lady went to stay at Cyer Angok Cyerdit house, which is located near Saba in Juba, because that's where Julia's husband was also staying. And in the process...
The guy is related to Julia's husband.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the process, Cyer, who is also a relative to the Julia husband, offered to pay the school fees for the young girl when this young lady came. When Julia brought the young girl to Juba, she discovered the assault after, on the third year, when she started staying home a little longer, and she confronted Cyer, the house owner. And it brought the disagreement in the family, and Julia was actually expelled from her matrimonial home, or from the home of Cyer where she was staying.
From her husband.
They told her, you go to your home. In Dinka, it's called when her husband, send back to your family home so you can go to a relative place. And a rape case was opened under Article 247 of Penal Code of 2008, but it has been changed to Article 264 by a prosecutor after it was allegedly bribed by Cyer. Cyer did not stop there. Cyer went to the village, or to the girl's family, and proposed to marry her with a dowry of 100 cows. And the proposal was accepted. The girl father has already received some money from Cyer, or the man. The young girl has been taken away from Julia, the person that brought her to Juba in 2021. And her date of birth has been changed from 2011 to 2008 to make her look a little bit old. So instead of her being 14 in the case, she's going to be 17. And if you look closely, that's why the article was also changed from 247 to 264. Her brother, the brother to the young girl, also came to Juba and has been beating her for refusing the marriage proposal. And Julia has been taken away the young girl has been taken away to the Julia and given to another relative who is maybe okay with the case. She has no problem with it. And so let's listen to Julia speaking to Radio Tamazuj and then give 2 cents.
زمن ودي جن ده مدرسة تاني يوم أنا بيها ما في بيت. جانا دي جنا ده قال تعال فلان رسلتها في دكان. زمن بتاع بافاريا الجا طلع جديد داك ده. جا شيلو قروش جنا ده هو مشي الدكان. داير يمشي يجيبوا حاجة ده ماشي جابوا. داير جا ودي له قبض جنا ودي جوا. ده الزمن ده كهربوا جانا ده كورة شيل القماش كاتب في كسمته وينتهى ببرنامج بتاعه ده يلا حدد الجنة ما توري لجوليا عشان جوليا يقدر اسمع أنا بكون عندي مشكلة معاك. الزمن ده بيجا عمل ديلات طبعا خالتي جا في اتجاه تارين وبيجا جا قاعد في القيادة هو يدوروا لي في بيت ترى وينو جا عملوا كونكشن بو وشيلوا الرقم بتاعه وشيلوا الرقم بتاع البيت. زمن المشاكل بتاع بيعي ناس داك ده جا في وراء هو جا بمسؤوليته طبعا ما في زول جاب لي تاني في الصورة. الناس دي هم عملوا الكونكشن كيف وبيجا جي راسل القروش أنا ما بعرف. زمان أنا جيت حملتها يا أنا جيت قاعدة في بيت ترى وين لسه مواصل بحاجة تو ألو عملوا لجانا ده لا يوم الليلة ده وما سيبه.
Yeah. So that was Julia speaking to the radio and was explaining of how the sexual assault used to happen. Is that Cyer used to return home early or when Julia has gone to work, so Cyer will come back home and he will send the young lady to go and buy some things at the shop. And when this young lady is bringing them back, she will say, give them to me here in my room. And then in the process, that's when he will do the sexual assault, remove the clothes and do whatever that he want to do. Yes.
That's very unfortunate. And according to you, who do you think failed this young girl?
I don't know who to blame here. I don't know if there's anyone to say it was to be blamed because the guy was just doing his things, right? So I can't really say there's somebody else to be blamed. It's the man, right? It's the one that is committing crime.
Yeah.
So
because at 45, like, I have so many questions when I went through this article. Was this man married? Where was his wife? Is she within the same compound? Most likely not. If he's married, then maybe the wife is somewhere in East Africa and the guy is staying in Juba to work and pay their expenses. But regardless, this guy is very heartless because how do you, at 45, force yourself on a child who's only 11 years old for 3 years until she turned 14?
So it started when the girl was 11 and it was 42. It's now 45 and the girl is 14.
Like at that age, this girl is supposed to be, if let's say he was someone who was married at 30, then he would have a child who's 15 by now. So the girl is technically young enough to be his daughter. It's really sad.
Yeah, it's bad. All right, so let's listen here to what was happening.
Lisa continue baja tore jana bika taban khalas yao jagum be yakar yom 29 yao jale yao ja hakile kalam da عشان كلام اجيبه للناس قانون عشان الناس قانون كمان يجي يساعدوا حاجه ده كان احسن بيجينا عمره لسه صغير ده قانون يا بار.
Yeah, so on September 29, 2024, that's when the girl actually revealed the whole thing to Julia, that it's not something that just happened, it has been happening. And then they went to open the case. And the case was opened on October 20, 2024. And the case number was given as 4718. Cyer was arrested and it was investigated under the Article 247 of South Sudan 2008 Penal Code, which I've already said, it deals with the rape and it specified the consent from a person under the age of 18 is invalid. So that means if this guy was to say she accepted it, then yeah, the person is under 18 and it's not accepted. But yeah, these issues of age are always a big debate, and people are always abused for either some girls are growing old and they're not attracting men. That's why they're against young girls that are still
that have attracted someone to marry them.
It happened recently with the other girl that people were competing for her. There was a big thing about age, But there were a lot of things thrown around people here and there, and you all know how it ended. So we are in a bad society.
So this is what Article 247 says. It's under Chapter 18 of the Penal Code, and it's on page 129. I will put the link under the comment section, or we will do that. So this is talking about rape, other sexual offenses, and offenses against morality. Article 247 specifically is only looking at rape. So this is what it says. Subsection 1, it says, whoever has sexual intercourse or carnal intercourse with another person against his or her will or without his or her consent commits an offense of rape, and upon conviction shall be sentenced to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 14 years and may also be liable to a fine. So if you rape someone, then you can be imprisoned for up to 14 years, and or you can also be charged a fine. They have not specified like how much someone can pay. And then number 2, it says, a consent given by a man or woman below the age of 18 years shall not be deemed to be consent within the meaning of subsection 1 above. Number 3, sexual intercourse by a married couple is not rape within the meaning of this section. So like, if you are married, then they don't consider it as rape. But this applies only to this particular section. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what happened.
I think you said that, have you talked about that being changed to another article or not yet?
Not yet. It's here. Let me play the video.
الممثل الاتهام في البلاغ رقم 47/18/2015. وقع البلاغ إنه البلاغ فتح تحت المادة 247 من قانون العقوبات لجنوب السودان 2008. والوقائع تؤكد إن المتهم قد اغتصب المجني عليها واستمر في اغتصابها لمدة 3 سنوات متوالية في قانون الطفل منصوص عليها في قانون العقوبات جنوب السودان. وقد صادقت جنوب السودان على المواثيق الدولية والإقليمية فيما يختص بحقوق الطفل. ودستور جنوب السودان أعطى الحق للحكومات المحلية والاتحادية بأن تضع في أولوياتها حماية الأطفال. البلاغ اللي نحن بصدده واضح وضوح تام بأن المتهم شير أنغوك قد قام باغتصاب المجني عليها البالغة من العمر 11 سنوات اللي هي الآن عمرها 14 سنة. إن وكيل النيابة لم يجانبه الصواب. لماذا؟ لأنه قام بتغيير مادة البلاغ من المادة 247 لمادة 264 رغم أنه هناك ما يثبت في محضر البلاغ تقرير الطبيب الشرعي الذي حدد عمر البنت.
Yeah, so the person that just spoke is called Yasmin Hamed Kamis Yuru. She's a human rights defender and the lawyer for the young girl. So she talked about the article under the charge was open being changed from 247 to 264. And it say 247 criminalized rape and sexual intercourse with a minor. But Article 264 deal with a scenario where a man lives with a woman as if they are married.
Yeah.
So they're trying to make the case look less offensive. So that's why they change it to that. But if people were to actually think, then look at it this way. The young girl was brought in 2021 as part of the Dinka tradition. There's nowhere it was said that she was being brought as the wife to Cyer Angok. So why would prosecutors or the law enforcers went ahead and changed the article to make it look much easier or to have a less penalty when it comes to the punishment that can come from it?
This is because, so Article 247 refers to what I just read a few minutes ago. And in this case, based on Yasmin's account, it seems this person bribed his way out to make sure that even if he's going to be sentenced, then the sentence will be less compared to the gravity of the kind of offense he has committed. And if you look at the Penal Code of 2008 of South Sudan, it's under Chapter 19. It deals with the offenses relating to marriage and incest. That's Article 264. It says cohabitation by deceit. Every person who by deceit causes any other person who is not lawfully married to him or her to believe that he or she is lawfully married to him or her and to cohabit or have sexual intercourse with him or her in that belief commits an offense, and upon conviction shall be sentenced to imprisonment of a term not exceeding 2 years, or with a fine, or with both. So remember, Article 247 talked of rape, and the kind of penalty that comes with it is a 14 years sentence with a fine. And in this case, it's only 2 years sentence.
Yeah, which is less punitive compared to other countries, because in Kenya, if it's not even called rape, if you do sex with a person that's under 18, it's called defilement.
Yes.
You defile a minor. And if it is proven that you actually defile them, then you are given 30 years to life in prison.
Yes.
But in South Sudan, it's like 14 years.
14 years is
Too small. Some people will never see the light again when they commit that in countries like Kenya. But this one is still less punitive, but people are still committing it.
Because, people hide behind culture. And in this case, they actually said the girl's age was changed from changing the date of birth from 2011, and then they backdated it to 2008 to make it seem like she's 17. Even at 17, that child cannot consent because she's still under 18. But because as per Dinka traditions or the culture within South Sudan, girls as young as 12, 14, minors get married. And people are comfortable with it because at the end of the day, it's like girls, the only thing that people want from girls is to get dowry. And so long as someone has come with dowry, they don't really look at the kind of future this girl would want for herself, or like some of the health effects that can result from such early marriages. Because obviously when you get married at that young age, it's not like the guy is going to wait. And in most cases, you find men as old as 40 years going for minors. Those people don't have enough time, or like they are not as patient as people would try to assume they are. Most likely they'll get you pregnant within that duration, and then your body is not fully developed for you to carry pregnancy to term and also give birth without complications. But then they don't care. Our grandmothers did that. Grandfathers did the same. So it has been practiced and it didn't cause any harm. So why would you be copying the West or the white man's culture? That's the argument that a lot of feminists get online. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and this is another thing that they said.
المادة 247 في الفقرة 2 بيأكد أو بيوضح إنه اغتصاب أو ممارسة الأعمال أو الجنس مع طفلة أو قاصرة تحت سن 18 سنة بيعتبر جريمة حتى ولو كانت القاصرة موافقة، يعني أبدت موافقة في ذلك. أما المادة 264 بيختص بإنك تكون عايش مع زول وتتخيل إنه هو قام بالزواج، يعني في زواج شرعي بيناتكم لكن ما في زواج أصلا. يعني المادة لما يتغير ل 264 كأنه المجني عليها كانت قاعدة أو عايشة مع المتهم على أساس إنها زوجته.
Yeah, so my main problem is where this is a whole case that has already been open as it should be a defilement
criminal case.
Should be a defilement case. I don't know why it is being referred as a rape. That has already been open.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the man has the audacity of going to the girl family and proposing a marriage and is being accepted.
Power imbalance.
Yes, there is that power imbalance, but where are the morals here? The girl's family are the one that are supposed to champion the imprisonment of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
They should understand that this is a young person. This is a minor.
Yeah.
If you are so interested in marrying her, why didn't you wait until she become of age? Why didn't you wait until she become of age and come propose? And again, she was living in your compound.
Yeah.
And you are doing that to a young person, to a small child, a little child. But again, like if it is a rape that somebody is forcing it on you, you have already not consent to it, you already be mad with that person.
Mm-hmm.
But now the community want to force you to live with that person for the rest of your life.
Remember,
are these people not trying to let this girl commit a suicide if she's so upset about it? Where will her mental health be?
Who talks about mental health in South Sudan? Like, remember, there's a case we looked at long time ago when we were starting the podcast. And one of the things that I said, it was regarding sexual assault. Then I mentioned that in South Sudan, or amongst the South Sudanese communities, even in other countries, when a rape incident occurs and either the girl becomes pregnant or it's found out that this has been happening, they'll try to solve it at communal level, talk as families, and then marry the girl off to the guy. Because it's embarrassing for the for the outsiders to know that your daughter has been raped or something like that happened. So instead, they just make it a marriage. And they don't really consider anything like mental health status, the fact that this is an act that was forced on you, and that is something that you live with for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's like they're just concealing the shame. They are more concerned about how shameful this is to the family and not how the girl feels or the kind of effect and trauma it has put the girl through. So that's the society we live in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like you said, right now it's Julia who's trying to champion for the girl. Partially because she's the one who was staying with that girl. It's her relative. And also because she knows deep down that this is injustice and it has to be addressed. But right now the family has put her under the bus by accepting the marriage proposal simply because the guy is coming with 100 cows. What is 100 cows compared to your child? If, let's say, for example, if this girl was to commit suicide or she ends up sustaining critical injuries from the beating because of being forced to marry this guy, see, she can just end up losing her life.
Yeah, so there's too much poverty in our society, and people are looking for ways to get out of that poverty.
Mm-hmm.
So they look for an easy way out. if a girl is there and they call it only that thing, and it is going to happen in her marriage also, then what's the big deal? They just want to collect the 100 cows. And this is why these kind of cases always happen to our families that are so poor. They feel that these cows are going to be their saviors from poverty. But how many girls have been married in this society of ours with a lot of cows or with a lot of dowries, and those families are still struggling because of how the dowry is structured. So instead of sending your daughter into a bad marriage, it's not even a marriage, to the person that was sexually
Forcing her
assaulting
to
her,
stay with her abuser.
yeah, for the rest of her life, just because you need 100 cows. There should be many ways of working to get wealth in society rather than looking at girls as part of the wealth. But again, you looking at, but why are they doing this to their girl? This one do happen every day. That even brothers will kill their own sister
Yes.
if the sister does not accept, and they will not be condemned. They will not be taken anywhere. You see, so something that has been given a go ahead in society. It has been normalized.
Yeah.
And which is, but we should look at each other as human and not just a tool to get
Like a
resources.
ticket to get out of poverty. Because like you mentioned, even if you get these 100 cows, some of them will die out of diseases. Others might be stolen by outsiders or enemies. And like livestock, these animals are not more important compared to the life of your child. If I were to be, but anyway, the prosecutor is not doing anything because they are the ones who have allegedly been bribed. Otherwise, if I were to be the one in charge of this case, even as a judge or the defense lawyer, I'll make sure the girl's family is also facing some charges. Because this would serve as an example to other people who might be willing and ready to do the same thing to their children in the name of they need bride price or dowry, or that the abuser is someone who has connections and is rich enough to buy their child. First of all, changing the age from 14 to 17 is a crime. It's a criminal offense. And it's like they're becoming accessories or accomplices to a crime that has occurred by aiding the accuser to evade law. Yeah. Because right now, like, I think during the incident of the 16-year-old who was gang raped by some guys, some crew members, one of the people that addressed the crowd indicated that as a community, we should move away from trying to solve some of these criminal offenses locally or at clan or community level. Instead, a crime should always be handled by the court. And what this family is currently doing is trying to address the issue. Not really address, but trying to cover that a criminal offense occurred by forcing their daughter to get married to the guy. And then if it happens that she's married off to that guy, then everyone will forget about the case and life will move on as if nothing happened. But then the consequences or the effects of such trauma would only be felt by the girl who's their daughter and probably her children. This guy is clearly not remorseful since he already has tried to work his way out of law to ensure that he receives as less penalty as possible.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for Jimosi podcast. If you want to see more of that case, please go to Radio Tamazush and read the whole case for yourself. And let us know what you think of this case. As to me, I'm already upset with it. What the family is doing and trying to isolate Julia from the whole case itself. One, she has been expelled from her marriage. Two, the young lady has been taken to her and given to another relative. And three, The brother to the girl has actually come from Warrap state to Juba and is coming to force her to accept the marriage, and he is beating her at the same time. If people don't watch out, this guy might even kill this sister of his.
There are actually so many incidences of girls being killed by their brothers because of forced marriage. And it has happened, like this is not the first instance of such a case happening in Warrap state and also in other states like Lake states, and like it happens everywhere. I don't know about the Equatorians and the Nuers and other tribes, but within the Dinka, this is a big issue, and it seems no one is really willing to address it.
Yeah.
Also, you were talking about defilement, why this is being referred to as just rape and not defilement.
Yeah.
According to the penal code, there's no word as defilement. The only thing they are talking about defiling is defiling a place of worship.
Yeah, it's lack of terms for it when the constitution was being written, but there should be a defilement.
Yeah.
Because defilement and rape are two different things. When you do it to an adult forcefully, there's a rape. When you do to a minor, a person under the age of 18, either they gave consent or not, is both. But mostly it will be taken as defilement. And defilement carry more weight than rape.
Yeah.
Because it's for a person under the age of 18.
Yeah. So unfortunate. We have a lot of changes that need to be done.
Yeah. And those of SPLM say that there was a process of permanent constitution being written and people are being consulted. I don't actually believe there's anything like that. I've not heard of any of those SPLM people going to any village of ours to consult with our people on what to be put on that constitution.
I think the kind of consultation they are doing is not really at community level, but it's the educated few people who are taking part in the constitutional review that are being consulted. I've seen a couple of meetings here and there on social media. But the constitution itself is kind of still being drafted and stuff. And I don't really think they are that serious about it, because according to them, they have bigger issues that they are currently handling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for Jimosi podcast. Please consider subscribing, like, share, and leave a comment.
Yeah, let us know what your thoughts are. And I don't know how you feel about this case. Also, what should be done to the family? Do you believe that the family should also be facing some consequences because they are aiding a criminal to avoid penalties or punishment for their crime? If you have not subscribed, please do the necessary. We are less than 10 subscribers away from 3K.
Yes.